So next we have Dr. Ramya Edasheri tell us about the general guidelines on how to prepare a good manuscript. Dr. Ramya.
Good afternoon. At the outset, I would like to thank Dr. Smita and the KSOS team for giving me this opportunity. So we know everyone wants to publish their things, but getting your work published is a crucial milestone for all researchers. Many find it impossible to go through the editorial and peer review process, so there are so many barriers. So the purpose of this session is to provide a cure for the writer's block and thus enhance a successful scientific accomplishment. So I will be talking on general guidelines to prepare a good manuscript. So the manuscript preparation involves mainly two steps. First one is formulation of an idea. Before commencing to write, the academician should be convinced about the novelty of the topic, whether it has been previously documented or whether it adds to the existing literature. Then only he should go ahead with the hypothesis. Once it is decided to go ahead with the hypothesis, next thing is preparation of a manuscript. Gathering a good background information about the topic is the next major step. Then choosing the journal. A journal with a good impact factor should be considered. Authorship criteria. Authorship should be given in the decreasing order of their contribution towards the manuscript preparation. The first author is the one who has played a major role in the whole concept of idea of manuscript. Then ethics. The Committee on Publication Ethics has released guidelines which help the publishers and editors to help the issues on publication misconduct. Finally, it is writing the manuscript. So check the instruction to authors as well as the scope of the journal in which you are intending to submit the manuscript. So what is a manuscript? So it's a document submitted for publication to reach the wider academic and scientific community. So it's presenting a novel concept in the form of a scientific paper. There should be a systematic and stepwise approach to prepare a manuscript. The key to formulating a structured manuscript is a good organization of the materials in hand. So the useful mnemonic for preparing a manuscript is IMRAD. Introduction, methods, results and discussion. Introduction, you say what did you study and why did you study? And in the methods, how did you exactly carry out the study? In results, what you found after your methodology. And so, what does it all mean? That is your discussion. I will be taking you through 10 steps to write a good manuscript. Step 1, read the guide for authors. Download and carefully read the guide for authors, which will find out about the interest as well as the scope of the journal in which you are going to submit your manuscript. Then the second step 2, write the materials and method, which is the most important step of a manuscript. What exactly you did in the study. An investigator in the same field should be able to replicate the study, most important. And study involving the human subject, always start with a statement about IRB approval and informed consent. The style of the section of methodology depends upon the type of the manuscript, and it can be outlined as PICO. That is P for patient or population, intervention, comparator and outcome. The study context, where exactly the study has been carried out, when, the duration of the study and the recruitment process should be described in detail. The study designs, whether it is an experimental design or an observational design. If experimental, RCT, or observational, cross-sectional, case control or cohort study. Measurements. The purpose of the two pillars of this section is reliability and validity. If the observations are repeated under similar conditions, the inferences should be similar. That is what is known as reliability, which is achieved by larger sample size. And validity is the inference should be a true reflection of the nature of relationship. This is achieved by ensuring that the sample selection is unbiased. Now the statistical measures. Describe the analysis of data. Which software was used for your data entry, how the confidentiality was maintained, who all had access to the data, how the exporting was done, and how the analysis was carried out. The Equator, Enhancing the Quality and Transparency of Health Research Initiative, is an international initiative which shows the issues the reporting guidelines for all types of researches. Some such guidelines are STROP for observational and cross-sectional studies, CONSORT for RCTs, and PRISMA for systematic and meta-analysis. Step 3, describe your results. The organization of the results should be in parallel with the organization of your methods. So describe what you found, that is your results. Second most important part. Start by describing your population, the number of subjects, how many protocol failures, the demographics of the individual groups, etc. Then the outcome of your primary variable, then followed by the outcome of your secondary variable. Text should be minimal. There should be tables and figures and use brief but descriptive legends. The figures and tables should be self-explanatory. Provide the actual p-values, just don't write p is equal to non-significant. Step 4, discuss your findings. Here you interpret and infer your results where you place your findings in the broader scientific or clinical context. Summarize main points pertinent to the question, similar as well as dissimilar study, and why do your results either confirm or refute the previous observations. Strengths as well as limitations of your study. Present clinical versus statistical significance and discuss the impact of your results on clinical practice. That is what we need, or patient outcome. End your discussion with realistic conclusions and the extrapolations of the study and the future directions. Now coming to the introduction. What is the purpose of introduction? To introduce your work. So it convinces the reader to further read or not. It should be short, precise, informative, explicit. There should be no ambiguity. So every aspect of your study starts from your research question. What is known about the disease topic? What is not known? What are the controversies? So how are you going to address this problem? That is the rationale. Step 6, references. All sources of information referred should be included in this part. Recent and relevant, preferably within the last 10 years. Old only if it is of historical importance. The styles may vary depending upon the journal. It may be Vancouver style, Harvard or Chicago manual. There are softwares which help in putting the references like Mendeley and Zotero. Now the abstract. Now you have written your manuscript. The next part is writing your abstract. It should be interesting, easily understood and pleasurable, structured and accurate. No abbreviations or citations in the abstract part. A clear abstract shows whether the paper is to be further considered. It puts years of work into 250 words. So the primary aim, the key method that led to the key result with the conclusion is your abstract. Now, yet another important part, creating the title page. It should impress the reader. It should explain the content of the paper, should be captivating and memorable to attract the readers, and include the key elements of the study and easily retrievable by search engines. Keywords, it's for indexing your paper. It gives you a label of your manuscript. Now we have written the manuscript. Rewrite the manuscript. Be your own harsh critic. Then circulate the manuscript among your co-authors to collect their criticisms and obtain the approval for submission. Acknowledgement include non-author contributions and funding information. So scientific writing is a passion. We need to develop this passion. So the news of an accepted article in a peer-reviewed journal gives the same kick to the other as doing a cataract surgery, seeing a post-operative clear cornea with a 6/6 vision. So happy writing, happy publishing. Thank you.
Very well described, Ramya.